Melody Shari's latest weekend update gave people something very different from what many expected. Instead of talking about legal matters or responding to all the conversations happening online, she decided to show something much more personal. She opened a window into her family life and shared moments that were filled with happiness, laughter, and togetherness. At a time when many people thought she might address the latest drama, she chose a different path. She simply lived her life and invited her followers to see that side of her. According to the photos and captions she shared, Melody spent the weekend at her father's home surrounded by family. It was not a business event, a public appearance, or a carefully planned interview. It was a family gathering where everyone seemed focused on enjoying each other's company. The pictures and videos showed smiles, conversations, and moments that looked natural instead of forced. For many fans, that simple decision stood out more than any public statement could have. Melody explained that the family enjoyed karaoke, line dancing, delicious food, and lots of laughter. She even gave special praise to her brother Marcus and another family member for preparing food that everyone loved. Anyone who has attended a family cookout knows that food often becomes one of the biggest highlights. It brings people together, starts conversations, and creates memories that stay with everyone long after the event ends. One detail that especially caught people's attention was her announcement that this gathering would become an annual tradition. That may sound like a small thing, but it carries real meaning. Families become busy. People move away. Jobs and responsibilities make it harder to stay connected. Choosing one special day every year to come together is a reminder that relationships deserve time and attention. Many viewers looked at those photos and saw something that cannot be bought with money. They saw peace. They saw comfort. They saw people enjoying each other without worrying about outside opinions. In today's world, where social media often highlights arguments and bad news, seeing a family simply laughing together felt refreshing. The timing also made people pay even closer attention. Over the last several weeks, online discussions about Melody and Martell have continued to grow. Social media pages have been full of opinions, predictions, and debates. Every new filing or legal update creates another round of comments. Some people expected Melody to jump into those conversations or defend herself publicly. Instead, she stayed focused on something completely different. She posted family moments instead of legal statements. She shared dancing instead of drama. She highlighted joy instead of conflict. That decision quickly became a topic of discussion by itself because many followers believed she was sending a message without saying a single direct word. Some supporters felt that her silence spoke louder than any interview ever could. They believed she was showing that not every accusation or rumor deserves a public answer. Sometimes the strongest response is continuing to enjoy your own life instead of giving attention to negativity. Others simply appreciated getting to see a different side of Melody. Public figures often become known only for headlines and television appearances. Fans sometimes forget they have parents, brothers, sisters, children, and family traditions, just like everyone else. This weekend reminded people that behind every public story is a real person with everyday experiences. The following morning, Melody continued sharing updates. She posted another family breakfast and affectionately called the group the Fourpiece Nuggets. The nickname made many followers smile because it showed the playful relationship they share. The atmosphere looked relaxed and comfortable, almost like any family gathering happening across the country every weekend. People also noticed how natural everyone seemed around one another. There was no pressure to create perfect content. Instead, there were genuine smiles, casual conversations, and moments that looked completely real. That authenticity is one reason so many followers connected with the posts. As the weekend came to an end, many expected social media to return to discussions about controversy, but Melody's next update took the conversation in another direction once again. On Monday morning, she shared a bright photo of herself wearing a yellow floral dress, along with a message encouraging everyone to begin the week with purpose. Her words were simple. She encouraged people to wake up and decide to have a great week on purpose. At first glance, it looked like a normal motivational post that many creators share every Monday. But what happened afterwards surprised almost everyone reading the comments. She invited followers to post one goal they hoped to accomplish during the week. She also announced that one participant would be randomly selected to receive a cash giveaway. That small invitation encouraged hundreds of people to join the discussion. But instead of only sharing business goals or fitness plans, many opened their hearts and revealed deeply personal struggles. Very quickly, the comments section transformed into something much bigger than a giveaway. It became a place where complete strangers encouraged one another and shared stories they had been carrying for months or even years. Many readers admitted they became emotional while going through the responses. One woman shared that she had lost her only child the previous year. She explained that the pain had affected every part of her life and that she had struggled to take care of herself since the loss. Her goal for the week was not something huge or dramatic. She simply wanted to start healing by going for walks, spending time with God, and focusing on herself again, one small step at a time. Reading that story changed the mood of the conversation. Suddenly, people stopped thinking about online drama and started thinking about real life. They realized that behind every profile picture is someone carrying invisible pain. Another follower admitted that her biggest goal was simply getting out of bed every morning and taking a shower. To some people, that might sound like an easy task, but anyone who has experienced depression or emotional exhaustion understands how difficult simple activities can become. The honesty of that comment touched many readers. Instead of judging, people offered support. They reminded her that every small step counts. They encouraged her not to compare herself to anyone else. They celebrated progress instead of perfection, creating an atmosphere filled with understanding rather than criticism. Then another powerful story appeared. A grandmother of 10 shared that she had survived cervical cancer, but was now fighting stage 4 lung cancer that had spread throughout her body. She spoke about upcoming medical appointments and asked others to keep her in their prayers as she continued the battle. Her words stopped many people in their tracks. They reminded everyone reading that health is never guaranteed and that every new day should be appreciated. Even while facing such serious challenges, she remained hopeful and determined to keep going. One of the most inspiring parts of the entire discussion was watching strangers comfort one another. People who had never met exchanged kind messages, prayers, and encouragement. They shared their own experiences with grief, illness, and recovery, hoping their stories might give someone else strength. In many ways, Melody's simple Monday question created something much larger than anyone expected. It became a reminder that social media does not always have to be a place for arguments. Sometimes, it can become a place where people lift each other up during difficult moments. Looking back at the entire weekend, it is easy to understand why so many followers felt inspired. Melody could have spent those days responding to headlines or explaining herself. Instead, she chose to spend time with loved ones, create memories, and encourage others to focus on their own goals and personal growth. For supporters, that decision reflected a mindset they have often admired in her. Rather than allowing outside noise to control her actions, she appeared focused on protecting her peace and investing her energy where it mattered most. Whether someone agrees with every decision she makes or not, many people recognized the positive message behind her recent updates. The weekend also served as a reminder that joy can exist even while challenges continue. Life does not stop because problems appear. Families still gather. People still celebrate birthdays, cook meals, laugh together, and make memories. Difficult situations may remain in the background, but they do not have to become the center of every moment. That may be one of the biggest lessons people took away from Melody's posts. While others talked about controversy, she talked about family. While others focused on conflict, she focused on gratitude. While others searched for drama, she searched for reasons to smile. For many viewers, that approach felt refreshing. It showed that sometimes the most powerful statement is not made through an interview or social media argument. Sometimes it is simply choosing happiness and continuing to move forward. As more people reflected on Melody's weekend posts, another interesting conversation started to grow. It was no longer only about what she shared, but also about what she chose not to share. In today's social media world, many public figures feel pressure to respond to every rumor, every headline, and every negative comment. Followers often expect instant reactions and detailed explanations, but Melody appeared to take a different approach.